Hello everybody, in this video we're gonna install Playwright, we're gonna install Visual Studio Code, we're gonna go over the Playwright folder structure, project structure, and we're gonna take a look at the practice websites. So let's get started. First thing you need to do is to check if you have Node.js installed. Node.js is the runtime environment for the JavaScript code. So what you need to do, you need to go to your terminal and you need to type node-v. So I have version 18.6.0. If you do not have it, what you need to do, you need to go to the Node.js website, and you need to, if you click on this button, it's going to download the package for you, and then you installed that package on your machine. Another thing that you need to check for, it's usually installed with, it's not usually, but it should be installed with Node.js, but just to double check the npm version. So npm is the repository for JavaScript packages from which you can download all your packages that you need. So yes, I have version 1.13.2, just to make sure it should be installed with Node.js again. The next thing we need to do, we need to install the Visual Studio Code. That's the editor in which we're gonna write our code. If you don't have it installed, go to a Visual Studio Code and again download for your operating system and install. The next thing, we need to install Playwright itself. So for that, what we need to do is, so we need to create a folder. So you can either manually create a folder or through the command prompt. So I'm gonna do through the command prompt. I'm gonna create on the desktop, and I'm gonna type mkdir, and then how we're gonna call it? We're gonna call it PW, which stands for the Playwright tutorials. Okay, and we're gonna list all the folders. And as you can see, PW tutorials folder is created. The next thing we need to do, we need to navigate to this folder. So navigate to PW tutorials folder. It should be empty. Yep. Okay, so then we can install all the Playwright packages and dependencies. So what we need to do, we need to type npm init playwright at latest. So we want to install the latest package of the Playwright. It will start the process of downloading the packages from the npm, and it's going to ask us a couple questions. The first question is what language you want to use. We want to select JavaScript. And where do you want your end-to-end test? I'm okay with the test folder. Add GitHub Actions workflow, that's for the CI. No, it's not part of this tutorial, so say no. And so what we did, I actually accidentally click no on the question install Playwright browser. You should click yes. So what it will do, it will install the browsers for the Playwright. We can do it later on after we done here just running the npx Playwright install. But if you click yes, it will do it for you. You don't have to do it after installing the Playwright packages. So at the meantime, let's take a look at the website that we're gonna practice with. So I selected two websites. One of them is the internet. So if you go to the der-internet.herokuapp.com, you'll see this website. This is the practice website, and it has all different fields. It's very simple. For example, if you need to test checkboxes, you can test checkboxes without any other elements without the rest of the page drop downs. Very basic actions. We can use website, and if we need in case something more advanced, we can use Zillow. This is the home searching website. It has more complexity. It has different elements, different locator strategy. Compare this to the basic the internet website. All right, let's take a look if we download it. Not yet, so I'm gonna pause for now and come back when it's downloaded. And we're back, and we installed the Playwright packages, and as I mentioned earlier, I accidentally clicked no to install the packages, to install the browser. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna run this npx playwright install command. Okay, typo somewhere. Oh yeah, I mistyped playwright. There you go. So the packages are installed. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna open Visual Studio Code. And then we going to open a folder. So it takes, you click on this button, open folder, and then do the desktop, and then PW tutorial. So open this PW tutorials folder, and that will open your Playwright project. Inside of this project we have node module, so these are all the dependencies that we need to run Playwright. As you can see, Playwright require all these packages, and we have the test folder where we actually will be writing all our tests, and it has the example.spec.js. And if we open, so this is the basic script where it now goes to the Playwright page and do some assertion, and also have test examples folder. This is the to-do app. It has way more tests. And we have package.json file. This is where we have this dependencies, our name for the project, the version that we can change, the author, some other things we can add. And then we have playwright.config.js. So this is where all the Playwright configurations will go. As of now, we set the default one, so you can change the test directory if you want to rename this folder with the test folder with to give it some other name. Just change it over here, and then Playwright will look for tests inside of the given folder. We have the timeout. It says to 30 seconds, milliseconds. It's actually set to in milliseconds. That's why we multiply by 1,000, because there is 1,000 milliseconds in 1 second. So by multiply by 1,000, we are given 30 seconds timeout wait. Expect timeout. This is how long we should wait for expected condition to happen. If it doesn't happen, the error will be thrown. If we want to do fully parallel, this is forbid only. This is if we use only, if we mark our test with only, the retries, amount of parallelization, the reporter. This is the configuration, for example, for trace. If we want to keep the tracing action timeout, when we should timeout, if some actions like clicking on the element, inserting text into element, what the timeout for those actions should be. And then we have project. So this is project on what browsers we want to run. So now it's set to run on Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. So if we run the npx playwright test, it will use these projects to run. However, in the Visual Studio Code, there is very nice and neat extension package. So if you click on this extensions icon and type Playwright, and then install the first one, which is by Microsoft, so you see a new icon shows up, and if you click on this icon, it will actually show you all your test cases over here, and you can actually also run from here. So you can do a few ways. You can run with this button, you can debug with this button. Again, this is correspond to those values in the playwright .config file. Or what you can do, you can click any buttons over here. These buttons will take you to where the script resides. This button will run. This button will run in the debug mode. Or what you can do the right click and run test, and it will actually run the test for you in the headless mode. So headless mode, you're not gonna be able to see how the browser opens and operate. In order to change from headless to headed mode, where we actually see the browser open, so what we need to do, we need to go to all the files, and then playwright.config.js, and then inside of use object over here, just go on the new line and type headless and set that to false. So that will set the headless mode to false. And if you go and run this test again, just zoom it out. See, the browser opens and it does some navigation. It navigates to this page. It asserts that the page have title Playwright, and then it gets the link by get started, clicking on that link, and then actually not clicking but checking if this element has the href attribute set to this value, and then it clicks on it and then verify that URL has intro in it. That's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to actually write our first test, run the test, and run the reports.